I've missed that one time. So now y'all are on it. Good job. Jennifer, I am now recording. We're getting into, we've been doing this for several weeks now. We've announced winners. The first round should have already got their prizes. Those that are participating, look, we tried to put elements in. I got an email the other day, like I did at the beginning. Somebody said, I really want to do this, but I'm just not into challenges. That challenges stress me out. Well, we're trying to meet you where you are. I won't get into my little mantra about challenges, but I just try to understand where people are at, and I understand that this was just one a few days ago. We addressed this when we first started. Let me address it again because good, Jennifer, good, awesome. I want to meet you where you are, but let me say this. That's life, isn't it? There's things that's going to stress us out. What the individual was saying was that in the past, when I participate in challenges, if I'm not doing as well as others, I get stressed out and I turn to food. And I certainly want to meet you where you are and say this first, is that if it stresses you out, understand you don't have to do this as a challenge. Just don't even go to the group challenge page. Don't even look at it. You don't have to do that. You can structure this or allow it to be structured in a way that meets you where your personality's at. But what I would say is, if this does stress you out, that some people are competing with one another, because that's not even why we established this. In fact, my friend Susan, she said, so we need something for those of us that know what to do and know how to do it, but we've relapsed. We need something for us. And that was the general intent of this. It just made sense to separate, because I felt like she was saying we need a separate group. Well, to separate it on our current platform, it was the easiest thing to do to set it up in the challenge tab. So immediately that label challenge kind of freaked some people out, and we addressed it. But it bears addressing again because I just recently got another email. So apparently there's a lot of folks that feel that way, that if it's a challenge, in their mind it's a competition, and they got enough things going on in their life that they don't want to do it as a competition. Stresses them out, they turn to food. I understand all that. But what I want to say, what we're supposed to be learning here is that if that stresses us out and we turn to food, we really got no chance of losing weight and keeping it off. Told you we weren't going to pull any punches, right? It's a challenging world that we live in. So if that stresses you out, I got no chance of you being successful or helping you be successful, because I know that there's going to be a lot more going on in the weeks to come that stress you out and cause you to turn back to stress eating, right? I mean, even if right now this were to be the most stressful thing, something's coming. There's an old saying that says you're either dealing with a crisis, stress, you're dealing with a crisis, you're right in the middle of one, or you're just getting over one. And if you're just getting over one, you're headed toward another. It's life. And if we're trying to lose weight, not for a week, but to lose it and then keep it off permanently, then we're going to have to learn to stay focused on what we should be doing for our temples without stress, during stress, when we're getting over stress, at all times. Just like we bless the name of the Lord at all times. We're going to have to learn to deal with stress at all times. See what y'all are saying. I'm doing it one day at a time, not competing with anyone, only competing with myself. Love that, Mo. Marcella, not competition for me, hoping to learn to continue lifestyle. Awesome. With that said, I want to get in. We've got 2 more rounds of challenge winners. The first prize monies has already went out. Sasha's working on the others. Here's what we got from March 19 to March 25th. Wow. Let me make sure I got this right before I call it. All right, here's what we got. First place, Sandy Gregg. I think we might have did this one already. And then we got Melvin Wells in second place and Tracy Swanson in third place. Sandy lost 18.6 that week. Melvin lost 8.6. I think we already did this one. Tracy Swanson 7.2. And that as a percentage of body weight, Sandy was tops there too. Melvin was second. Tracy was third. So awesome job. Awesome job. Week March 26th through April 1st. Check this out. First place. Lost 8 pounds in a week. Marcella. Y'all let Marcella hear it. Awesome job. Awesome job. Second place. Patricia Hurt. Third place. Vicki Davis. Way to go. Now, but we've got an honorable mention. Sandy Gregg. Now, here's what happened in this particular week. Marcella lost 8 pounds. Sandy Gregg followed up her tremendous week with 5.9 pounds. Vicki Davis, 5 pounds in a week. And then you got Jim right on their tail at 4. Some other great folks, great results there too. But we go to percentage of body weight, and Marcella was still first, but Patricia was second, and Vicki Davis third. So our winners, the way that goes is that the percentage of body weight will trump the weight lost. So that was a terrific job by everybody involved, but we got Marcella, Patricia, then Vicki. So congratulations to y'all for that particular week. Good job, everybody. Good job. So Marcella said, I'm not competing against anybody but myself. And see, she did a good job. She come in first. Good job, everybody. So very proud of you. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. We'll split up the prize money, send that to you guys, all right? Good job. Debbie, you was right in there too. And I'm seeing some of the same names every week, which means you're really reloading. You're really reloading, and that's terrific. So y'all are just smoking it. Walking miles, do we even need to say anything? You got Sheila Lindsay had 6,650 exercise reps. And then Becky Harrison again, 74.7 miles. She just keeps killing the walking, man. She's a machine. Good job, everybody. Good job. All right. Now, let's get started with our lesson tonight. You know the deal. Set your chat to all panelists and attendees. And then when I do have the PowerPoint up, it's a little more difficult to see what's going on. So you'll just have to bear with me. I hope you will anyway. Oh, lost Zoom. Hold on. Let me get this going here. Where's share screen? Share screen. Sharing. Here we go. All right, let's talk. The choices that you and I make today determine the person you become tomorrow. Let me say that again so you can think about it. The choices that you make today determine the person you become tomorrow. We could also say the eating decisions you make today, the combinations that you choose, and the portions that you choose will determine your waistline tomorrow. Bible says this, Proverbs 14:12, there is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way to death. Can we say a man and a woman? What's that saying there? You can justify and you can rationalize any of your eating decisions in a moment. You could be dealing with stress and feel you really need to make a poor decision. You could be dealing with, at a family function, somewhere where they're serving food. This just recently happened when we went to Gabe had a band thing we had to go to, and they served the food. It was like a fundraiser. They served the food, but I didn't have to eat what they served, and I didn't. I just ask for a salad and eat the salad, right? So you can do things like that. There's no time, there's never a reason. I know we're allowed to have holidays, but there's never a reason to have an unplanned one unless you choose that, but you have to know what's coming with it. Don't rationalize. And how many times have you sit through a class like this and you either get fired up or you're done with me? But some of you get fired up or get fired up in Jason's class, Brooke's class, somebody else is talking to you. You get fired up, have a little powwow, a little come to Jesus, and you get fired up. But the minute you get away from that external motivation and you're faced with some tempting food, you forget about the choices that you make today determine your waistline tomorrow. You forget all about that, and you begin to justify and rationalize why it's okay and how you can start back over tomorrow, or whatever you do. You know what your rationalizations, excuses, and justifications are. You do that because in the moment, it seems right to you. But you know that its end is the way to premature death. Bible tells us that. Best weight loss coach ever, right there. There's a way that will seem right to you and I, but the way that often seems right to us, it leads to premature death. Isaiah 30:21. And your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it, when you turn to the right or when you turn to the left. Now think about that. We've established that if we want to prevent relapse, we got to do some things that are uncommon that the rest of the world that's unsuccessful isn't doing. One of those things was a vision board. One of those things was prayer. We talked about listing our goals, nightstand rules. Remember? Does anybody remember that stuff? We put these things in place, and that's what we've decided is right. That's what we've decided is right. But we have a tendency to look to the left and look to the right. We set our minds and our affections on things that don't line up with our goals. But if we'll listen to the Holy Spirit, if we'll reinforce those nightstand rules, the vision tracker, if we'll stay focused on that daily, not one time, but over and over and over, if you'll stay focused on it, it'll be a whisper in your ear that says, this is the way, walk in it. You won't hear the old diet devil whispering in your ear anymore if you keep your eyes on the Lord. And the Lord wants you to have an abundant life, not an abundant waistline. So you've got to do these things every day, because though the spirit be willing, your flesh is weak. You got to keep it ever before you. Why do I relapse? I get the question all the time. Why do I do this to myself, Travis? Why do I relapse? You're probably asking yourself that. Why do I do this over and over and over and over? I'm telling you why you don't. Because you don't follow successful principles. If I don't, I can't stick to it either. You keep them in front of you at all times, and you visit them early and often throughout the day. And then you'll hear, this is the way, walk in it. Don't be tempted by the things to the left. Don't be tempted by the things to the right. You keep tunnel vision going on. You know, they had to put on the mule and on the oxen, they had to put blinders on it, or it couldn't plow straight in a straight line, could it? It looked to the right, it looked to the left, and it wouldn't plow a straight road. We're no different in that regard. Okay? So what happened in the Garden of Eden? Adam and Eve, all the tree of life and all those good trees, and they could have on all of them. This is the way to walk in it. But yet there was one tree put in the midst of the garden, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the tree of pizza, the chimichanga. They look at it and they would forget all about the right way, the narrow path. The Bible's the best weight loss coach, not us. Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers, listen. A lot of people post negative stuff. We talk about it every week. A lot of people beat themselves up, call themselves stinking failures and things like that. I've been guilty of it too. But that's not the way. It may be gratifying in some way, but that's not the way. Look, I was working today and I had on the news channel, and I was listening to all the bad stuff going on. Bad stuff. It's depressing. It's downright depressing. God doesn't say in the book, turn on CNN, turn on Fox. He doesn't say that. Turn on headline news, turn on CBS, ABC, NBC. He don't say that. He don't say go look, see what all's bad's going on. Go look at the obituary. He said let the dead bury the dead. He didn't say go look at the obituary, go look at the arrest records and things like that. No, he didn't. But he said this. He said, finally, y'all, whatever's true, whatever's honorable, whatever's just, whatever's pure, whatever's lovely, whatever is commendable, if there's any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Where else could you be tonight more important than trying to overcome a food addiction and live a more abundant life so you can be a greater light to your husband, to your wives, to your children, to your grandchildren? What more could you be doing? No, we too caught up on the gossip channel. Worried about what somebody's going to think about us, worried what somebody else is thinking. Maybe I don't have it right. Maybe there's something else. Maybe there's something else. We got people with flat earth conspiracies, alien and Martian conspiracies. I don't read in the Bible for me to worry about any of that. The Bible says don't even concern yourself with any of it, but think on these things. Is what's in that vision tracker, is it one of these things? Is what's in your notepad, as far as the nightstand rule goes, are those things pure and lovely and good? Think on these things. Excuse me. Galatians 6:8. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever one sows, that will he also reap. Listen, you're not going to get around this. At some point, you've got to make some decisions. For the one who sows to his own flesh will from the flesh reap corruption. But the one who sows to the Spirit will from the Spirit reap eternal life. You eat too much, you are what you eat, right? So you eat more raw material than you need, you're going to carry around more raw material in that dress. It's not that dress making your butt look big, it's your butt making your butt look big. God is not going to be mocked. You got to make decisions. What do you want? What do you want? There's no legitimate excuse. Here's some medicine for you tonight. You can tell I read a lot of excuses. It's helped me because I've seen some people make excuses that don't make sense to me, but when I made that excuse, it made sense to me. So in other words, in short, just dealing with other people's excuses has helped me to overcome my own. When you hear somebody else use a dumb excuse, you realize, man, I use that one too, but somehow it was right in my eyes when it was me. There ain't no excuse that's right. There is not, hope this group will accept this tonight, there is not a legitimate excuse for being overweight. There are excuses. There's no legitimate one. You are overweight because you want to be overweight more than you want to be lean. Travis, I don't want to be overweight. Well, let me read that again. You're overweight because you want to be overweight more than you want to be lean. It's that simple. Until you want to be lean more than you want to be overweight, you're going to continue to be overweight. You're not a victim. And you're not overweight because of uncontrollable circumstances in your life. You could be dealing with other crises that are out of your control. You can do nothing about it. It's an uncontrollable thing going on. And you're having to deal with the hardship of it, of the consequences of it. And it's not even within your control to do anything about. People's dealing with bad things. They're dealing with bad things today. But let me give you an example. My internet, I've had trouble with it here, and it's a tiny thing. It goes out. That's not within my control. I can't do anything about it. But when I was 300 pounds, that was within my control. no matter what excuses I came up with. I had a victim mentality. Somebody else's fault in part. You are not a victim and are not overweight because of uncontrollable circumstances in your life. You are overweight because you use food as a reward or a treat. You are overweight because of controllable circumstances. So now I'm going to come out of here and we're going to review some stuff and then we'll finish up with some good recipes. You might want to go to or write this down, www.planetshiboleth.com. All right, let me come out of here for a minute. How y'all doing? Any comments, questions so far? Sorry, allergy still got me. Y'all doing all right? Okay. No questions, no comments. I'm going to go back and share so I can get you to Planet Shiboleth here. Hang on. They're still making updates to it. But I'll show you where we're at with those updates. All right. Should be able to see planetshiboleth.com. We've tried to make this easier for those participating to get to the information. We've got days 1 through 7, days 8 through 21 and beyond. Not ready to add a lot of new stuff. Lots of variety here. If we wanted all the variety, we would go back to myshiboleth.com. Now we've added the orientation video so that you've got everything in one place. We've added the rules. We've added a divine day meal plan and now a divine shopping list as we're going to start talking about these things, these foods. But let me go to rules. I want to review the rules with you. Every week we need to review them quickly. All right, mandatory lifestyle rules because we want to keep the information top of consciousness. Attend the weekly class, whether it be live or recorded. Keep a vision tracker. We have one. If you don't do your own, you may have your own platform you use. You may have some app that you use. You may have a poster board, but we've got a vision tracker right here in the website where you can put pictures, attach music to it, do all kind of fun things with it so that you've got this great slideshow of your why, of your reason. I play mine all the time, even on my phone. Keeps me focused. We're asking that you blog one time during the week about your journey, trying to keep you in touch with your spirit. Journal, you must bite it, write it, hog it, log it, nibble it, scribble it, drink it, ink it. No excuse not to journal. Nightstand rule, this is where we review our goals, morning and night, minimum. We weigh when we start each week, but we also weigh again on Wednesday morning. Prayer. There's power in prayer. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous person availeth much with the Lord. And if you'll all pray for one another, wow, great things happen when we all pray for one another, touch, and agree. Mandatory nutrition components. Drink half a gallon up to 1 gallon of water each day. You can eat up to 3 meals each day. That means you can have, you listen to your body. Don't skip meals to lose weight faster. But if you're not hungry, you don't have to eat. Once snacks are on the list, which they are, you may have up to 1 snack daily. We prefer you not do that unless you're having a moment of weakness. Once freebies are on the list, you may have freebies. You may only have 1 challah meal each week until otherwise noted. So each week during Relapse, we're saying do your best. Allow yourself one challah meal per week. If you have more than one hollow meal, you must tap out. What we've been saying, though, is you're going to have some accidents. We want you to keep going. But if you're just choosing, if you're just, hey, I don't care, once you know you're not really into it, please remove yourself from the group so we can keep a excited group. You can come back anytime. I hope that you learn how to remain and stay motivated. But if you just become totally demotivated and mentally lethargic toward what we're trying to accomplish, let's don't bring the rest of the group down. Let's go in and tap out. But if you're doing your best, you shouldn't tap. Meals, snacks, beverages, and freebies must come from the meal list provided. Proper food combining must be observed. Meal replacements on the approved list can be used. WOW Challenge meal plans can be used. You do not have to eat when I eat or what I eat. I'm simply sending ideas to you of things that I do that help me. But your timing can be different from my timing. Exercise is not required. So that's the going over the rules again. Anybody have any questions on the rules? Go ahead, Stephanie. I believe that's Stephanie. I can see part of your name. Any question? Thought I remembered that you said if you follow a holiday with intermittent fasting day, it helps get back to EFB faster. Is that correct? And if so, would you give a quick reminder about what constitutes an INF day? It is true. We have not programmed that into the weekly timing chart yet. Our developer's working on that. I believe what we established was if you have an intermittent fasting day and get 15,000 steps, it should only take you one day to get back into EFB. An intermittent fasting day is 2 meals or any WOW meal plan where you have a 16-hour fast between your last meal of the day and the next meal of the next day. That constitutes an intermittent fasting day. I got that, Amanda. I got it. I'm glad you kept that private. If we have a hollow meal, do we mark it a holiday for the day in the journal? Yes, you do. A hollow meal, it's not a bad thing. You chose to do it. You hopefully planned it, and you mark that a holiday. Anybody else? Stephanie, if that didn't clear that up, let me know, and I'll try to approach it a different way. Intermittent fasting days are going to be your best fat loss days. It provides enough amino acids to preserve muscle, helps with cellular recovery, wonderful cognitive benefits, but they're not mandatory. It's a traditional week. Does our week go from Wednesday to Wednesday, or is it a traditional week? Monday through Sunday is how we do it. The reason I like for people to weigh in on Wednesday morning is the average person typically has their hollow meal on the weekend, and by Monday that weight isn't off. So we want them to see if they got back on Monday and Tuesday that they had a good Wednesday weigh day. Hollow meals are never worth it, Rebecca. I agree. Is it 16 hours before I have 2 meals or after the 2 meals? Well, you need a 16-hour stretch at some point over a 24-hour period where there's no food intake. 0-calorie beverage intake's fine. WOW Challenge meal plans sometimes have 3 mini meals. But at some point over a 24-hour period, you need a 16-hour fast. The day that you start the fast, if you make it 16 hours, is the day you mark an intermittent fast. So, in other words, I had my last meal, I think it was like 6 or 7-ish, I can't remember without looking, but 6, the day's a blur. So let's say it was at 6. If I don't eat anything else, I'm going to call today an intermittent fasting day, as long as I now have a 16-hour fast between now and when I get ready to eat tomorrow. If we eat Shibboleth approved meals but not reloaded approved, we count it as a holiday. No, I wouldn't do that. If it's a perfect day, it's a perfect day. This is about Relapse to Reloaded. But here's the thing. Again, I'm trying to meet people where they're at, and some people really, really struggle with all the variety on Planet Shibboleth. So we tried to condense down the variety so that people that want to focus on a smaller list have the opportunity to do so. But a perfect day is a perfect day. We are learning how to have an intermittent fasting day and a divine day. And by having a monthly calendar where we mix those in and up, you're going to see better results. You got a perfect day, and then you've got these subcategory days that are even better for weight loss and wellness. Any other questions? Did anybody have the potato day? I'm just curious. Did anybody have the potato day? Has anybody had the salad day, the salad with the hemp? Velma, if you're new here and don't know how we haven't give the rules for a total divine day yet. We're getting to it. But we give them like a challenge meal plan on how to have a divine day. I'd recommend watching the previous Relapse to Reloaded videos in the video library. Some of you've had a divine day, a salad day. Some of you've had the potato day. So let me show you. I'll pull it back up. And then we'll finish up with some new recipes. All right, let me show y'all. Whew, my throat is just gone. And my voice is fixing to be gone. Little prayers. Need some little prayers. Some little powerful prayers. First divine day that we put out there was this day. We picked the hardest one first, but it's fun. Divine day, it gives you instructions on how to have a salad, one that's large enough that you can graze on from breakfast through lunch. And then it tells you what to do for dinner. All you got to do is log in to planetshiboleth.com. Gives optional instructions, so on and so forth. A potato day, let me pull that one up. Bear with me here. Relapse to Reloaded last week. Here we go. A potato day, they're going to put all this in the website for you. They've been behind. We've been having, y'all have heard about all the privacy issues, and we've been having to update our code on the back end too. It's good website, protects your data, but it's ongoing 24/7 work. So that sometimes takes priority over putting potato day in the system. So a potato day is breakfast, you can have air. Lunch or dinner, you have to have salad, cucumbers, bell peppers, or cabbage. Lunch or dinner, you can have only one. You can have it for lunch or dinner, not both. You have a huge boiled potato, not a medium size. If it's medium size, you can have 2. Hemp hearts or hemp flakes, approved chili, approved cheese, fat-free sour cream if desired, approved 0-calorie butter spray, or 1 teaspoon of ghee, salt, and pepper. That's an intermittent fasting challenge. We call it Potato Day. Does that make sense? Let me stop so I can see the chat. I did not eat anything and called that a divine day. That's fine with me. If the Lord led you to fast, that's fine with me. Just don't start going in. Don't starve yourself to lose weight faster. Listen to your body or declare a fast unto the Lord. I like potato day. I look forward all day to having that big old potato. I ate the potato last week with turkey chili, fat-free cheese, hemp flakes, fat-free sour cream. It was more than I could eat. I only ate about half. Way to go. Listen to that body. Is a snack allowed on potato day? No, that's a challenge day. Jennifer asked, is the snack allowed? No, ma'am. No, you can eliminate, Stephanie, the chili. You don't have to have it. I put a little health-wise chili on mine. Well, Terry, that's a good question. Potato is not that bad for you, but we're also adding approved chili, which slows the blood sugar rise down. If you don't use the chili, you got the hemp hearts or hemp flakes. That's going to slow the blood sugar elevation down. If you didn't use hemp hearts or hemp flakes or approved chili, but you still stay with the 500 calorie max, it's going to elevate your blood sugar some, and that would slow down your fat burning. But this day you've got so much portion control, you're not doing yourself too much harm. We prefer you to use the chili or the hemp hearts or hemp flakes, one or the other, or both. And the approved cheese is loaded with protein. You're really getting a perfect combination. And potatoes have always been allowed on our program. A lot of people, we just talked to a lady, talked her off the edge of the cliff yesterday because she said she couldn't have carbs. And I said, what? There's a whole list of carbs. You just got to combine the right nutrition with them. It's better to boil it than bake it, but you could bake it if you wanted to. The salad with the potato day, can it have grilled chicken on it? No grilled chicken. Well, let me take that back now, Rebecca. Let me take that back. You can already have the right combination, right? If you're following, this is a challenge, so you got to keep that potato meal 500 calories or less because you're not getting anything much throughout the rest of the earlier in the day. But you can already have. Oh, that's right. We don't have a potato on Reloaded. I'm thinking regular shibboleth. I have to have split personality to do this job. So no, you can't have it yet. I don't think we put potatoes on the regular list. How much chili? A quarter cup, Velma, would be fine. Remember, this is a challenge. Be careful. I can tell we're running off we're running off to Oz. Let me pull y'all back. This is a challenge. Notice it's structured because I'm controlling your whole day's consumption. If you have a potato every meal, we're not going to lose weight. It's not going to happen. Can't do it. A 1, 2, 3 occasionally for a meal is fine on regular shibboleth, but if you're having 3s every meal, no, won't lose weight. I don't understand the question, Jennifer. So people on week 1 can't have the potato day. You can have it. This is a challenge. Are y'all familiar with, see this little oh, wait a minute. Let me share again. We done, it's my fault. I ain't mad at nobody. It's my fault. Y'all are all running off to Oz. See this little icon? See this little icon, intermittent fasting icon? This is a challenge. This is an intermittent fasting day. So if you have this day, you have to have it exactly in order to mark your weekly timing chart with an INF day. Okay? So the challenge days, wow challenge days, intermittent fasting days, divine days, I'm structuring those. So they're fun challenges. They're meant to be a challenge, exercise your self-discipline challenge. that you pick out and do one day. You can do these anytime. As stipulated in the rules, you can do any WOW challenge at any time, any intermittent fasting challenge at any time. Does that make sense? Does that make more sense? If you're having 3 meals in a day and you're not choosing a specific laid out challenge, you must go back to your list. So let's go back to our list. We go back to our day 1 through 7, days 8 through 21. Now I'm having to observe proper food combining. Make sure you watch the orientation video. We have updated the rules from that, but the combinations are still at play. It says observe proper food combining. Remember, this is not a new member. To be in the Relapse Reloaded group, you're supposed to have a basic fundamental knowledge of the program, or it's not, none of this is going to make sense to you. So you're supposed to have already earned your phase 1 badge. So you know that you can have a 1 and 2, a 4 and 2, a 1, 6, 2. You already know these things, right? Are we on the same page together now? My fault for not doing a better job of clarifying. On the cucumbers, it says sprinkle with ACV. Can I use Emerald's Essence? Yes, because that's on the list. Should be. Spices, seasonings, condiments. Gosh, I'm dying over here. Anything that's 0 calorie or close to 0 calorie is approved. So if Emerald's Essence is 2 or 3, 5 calories, go for it. Not a problem. Does that make sense? Anybody else? Let me show you some recipes and then we'll go overtime, and I'll stay with anybody that needs, especially our new folks that's new to Relapse Reloaded. I'll clarify anything that needs to be clarified. So I'm going to finish up here. I'm sorry. I know it's annoying me coughing. I don't know what's going on in my throat. All right. Great recipe for a vegetable omelet. I'm going to put together a WOW challenge using this, but this is a great weight loss meal. And it would be worthy if your other meals for the day are divine days. As you're learning those, this would be worthy of a divine meal for sure. Vegetable omelet, 2 eggs. Let me get a water. I'm sorry. People ask how to drink their water. So there, I didn't put one down and drinking another one. Vegetable omelet, 2 eggs, pinch of salt, pinch of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of ghee butter gives it extra good flavor. Bell peppers, onion, optionally hemp hearts. Hemp flakes are very sweet hemp flakes. When we got those very sweet hemp flakes, that's what we call them, and that's how they're listed. I started using them to make a vegetable omelet. You talk about delicious, it's something else. And then we go through the directions on how to make that vegetable omelet. Divine Day does not, as you'll learn in coming weeks, does not disallow meat, but our focus is more on plants. You may also add diced tomatoes or spinach to this vegetable omelet. Another one that I really like is spaghetti stuffed peppers. I'll tell you what a great day would be. A great divine day would be a vegetable omelet for brunch. Don't that mean between breakfast and lunch? I don't remember. Skip breakfast, have brunch. That vegetable omelet, and then have these at night. You're talking about a great weight loss day. Spaghetti stuffed peppers, bell peppers, MCT oil, onion, pasta sauce. There's a whole list in Food Library of approved pasta sauces. Half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Now, that's a lot of Parmesan cheese. 3/4 cup of ricotta, but this makes several servings, makes 6 servings. So by the time I look at it, I'm only using a condiment portion of cheese per serving, so we're good. 2 tablespoons of parsley, or even more for garnish. 8 ounces of Explore Cuisine organic, non-GO soybean spaghetti, or mung bean, or any of their products. Any of Explore Cuisine's pastas. Black bean, mung bean, organic soybean pasta, Explore Cuisine. And then we give the directions for making spaghetti stuffed peppers. Delicious if you like such. You could have a smaller stature. When I say smaller statured person, I'm talking about the weight you should be. I'm not talking about the weight you are. We always eat for the weight we want to be, not the weight we are. So somebody that wants to be in that 150 or less range, one of these bell peppers. Somebody that your ideal weight's in that 200 range, then you could for certain have 2 of these bell peppers. But you just let your body speak to you. When do you get satisfied? Don't ever eat until you're full. If you feel full, more than satisfied is what I call full. You feel it in your tummy pouch. You've eaten too much. That's just the way it is. You're stretching your stomach at that point. Crunchy kale salad. Another great recipe. Kale, carrots, avocado, chickpeas, tahini, and lemon juice. And then I tell how to make that. So you got 3 great divine recipes there. I'm going to do several challenges that we post with these incorporated for those of you that like such, so that you can learn how to use these and you can start to learn how to have a divine day. Any questions? I've been taking that new stuff, Jennifer. The pollen's bad right now. Claritin may help, Jennifer says. Thank you. I've been taking some of that new stuff. I don't know how you spell it. Claritin wasn't helping me for some reason this year. Yeah, they will be on. Don't worry about writing it down. We'll process the video. Our internet's finally back to high speed here at the office. So we should have all the videos finally back in the video library, any that we're behind on, and attached to their PowerPoint so that you've got these. Yes, you can eliminate the tahini. It's high fat, so by eliminating it, you're actually helping the recipe. Can you eliminate the tahini? Tahini is sesame. Sesame's high fat. You can't eliminate it, and that helps the recipe. Reduces the calories. Anybody else? Any other questions or comments? Jennifer, you got a question about intermittent fasting day. If anybody's got to go, I appreciate you being here tonight. We're going to go overtime now. So if you need to leave, I understand. On the smoothie day, can you have free-range beef instead of bison, like the bison just super expensive? Yes, as long as it fits into if it's a category 4, it's got to be 93 to 95.9% lean. If it's category 1, it's got to be 96% or better, but you can use beef, chicken, or turkey. The videos are in the video library, and the only people that see these are the gold members. You just go, you log in, and you go to video library. All right, another question here. I just want to make sure that I'm right about intermittent fasting. If I hadn't eaten since 7 p.m. the night before and I eat at 1 p.m. the following day, would the day that I eat at 1 p.m. be considered an intermittent fasting day? Perhaps. In other words, if you had any two Shibboleth approved meals and you did that, yes, that would be an intermittent fasting day, unless following one of my challenge meal plans. Has to be 2 meals and a 16-hour fast between your last meal and the next meal of the next day, which that would qualify. Unless you had 3 made-up meals that you did, then it would not qualify. Or if you use any of the WOW Challenge meal plans, even the ones that have 3 mini meals, and you have a fast like that, that day would have been an intermittent fasting day. I see, I believe that's Stephanie. Thank you for meeting with us. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Terry. Did that qualify? We're in the process of doing daily doses for intermittent fasting and a divine day. Because as we've gotten into this, we see all the things that need clarifying for people. I've been living this way now for a little more than a year with the intermittent fasting divine days, and I swear I credit my results in walking. I've had great results. Anybody else? Anytime you're confused, then break it down to what you do know and focus on what you do know, not on what you don't know. And everybody here should know how to have a perfect Shibboleth meal, and that's all that's required here. This is, you're reloading. You don't have to do these other things. Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Rebecca. That means the world. Thank you, Cheryl. We deal with y'all a lot different than we do a brand new person, right? Because we're all advanced. Can we find the list of combinations for relapse to reloaded somewhere? Kind of confused by that. It's the same combinations that we learn in the regular program, but I did give you, if I remember right, the best ones. Let me see if I can find the card again. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just post the combinations again when I get off here. I'll post it in your group. Anytime we boil our vegetables, thank you, Angel. Anytime we boil our well, that's a lesson in itself. I started to go too deep with it there. Sometimes raw vegetables are the best. Sometimes if we're feeling poorly, we need to cook them. But when we get into boiling versus baking and such, boiling a potato has been shown to preserve its nutritional value better than baking it. So that's why we said that. But baking is fine. The difference is negligible. So boiling or baking is fine. Boiling is supposed to preserve more nutrition in the potato than baking. You're welcome. Anybody else? Any other questions? I'll go post that combination card. Thank you, Terry. It means a lot. Thank you. I certainly need something. Getting worried about make my living and vocation or whatever. I make it with my voice. So, boy, my throat's hurt. Now, if we cannot get to the Cibola store to buy the snacks on the grocery list, is there something at the grocery store we can exchange them for? You're looking for void replacements? There's thousands on the regular program. Thousands, there's hundreds, but I'll just go look. Let me just try to add you some more snacks that are grocery snacks. I'd prefer you not do snacks. I guess I'm asking what I can substitute. That's going to be, I guess I'm asking, can we substitute the cookies for, no, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Let's not yet, because it'll just become the regular program. And I think what I'm going to do, Jennifer, to give you some hope there, I think what I'm going to do is get my developer to add a little tab that says after day 21 or whatever that was, you can start having any Shibboleth perfect day, okay? Because I'm getting probably, without exaggeration, 20 to 30 requests a day to add stuff. And I think that's going to really set y'all back if we just turn it into regular Shibboleth. We've already got a great website for that. This is supposed to be a little more restrictive to get you off on the right foot. And there's always going to be some substitution. That's the regular program. So I think what I'll do is just add a tab that says at any point after day 21, you're feeling like you've got momentum again, just do regular Shibboleth. And if you lose momentum, go back to tab 1. Does that make better sense to you? Because part of the problem is that a lot of people that are here get bogged down with the variety. And it's so easy to turn this into just regular Shibboleth, which is fine. But that wasn't working for people. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Beth. Why not just do regular Shibboleth? So we'll just add the tab for those that feel they've got momentum and don't need this right now. You can come back to this anytime you want to. But you've got your momentum back. You feel comfortable going back and having the plethora of snacks and freebies that Shibboleth offers, then you can do that. And then anytime you lose momentum, hey, we come right back to tab 1. Okay, we're a large family, and what I can buy at the grocery store helps. Yes, if we look at the list, Jennifer, almost everything on the list is grocery store, right? Do you agree? I get that a lot. We get focused on 1 or 2 items that's not in the grocery store instead of looking at all the items that are. So if you'll take a look at that list I put up there, it's almost all groceries. Anybody else? Good questions. Anybody else? Could I use the Kind Plus bar as a snack if needed? Let me go look at the list because I don't remember if that's on the list. All right, so I'm looking at the list. And it's on the list. So you could have it, right? You could already have that. If you have low blood sugar or mental weakness, look at that category. It says infirmary, low blood sugar, or mental weakness, because we say we're being hard on y'all. Snacking is mental weakness, but it's allowed. I use these harsh terms to get you to think a little. So you're saying you need it. If you need it, it's already on the list. Approved kind bar plus. Let me show you. Okay, you see it now. All right. So you can have it, right? The infirmary is the same as a snack, but it's for folks that have a low blood sugar episode or they just have a moment of mental weakness and they don't want to have a holiday, so they are allowed to have a Kind Plus bar. It does minimum damage. Anybody else? Any more questions? All right, y'all. Yeah, Jennifer needs it for low blood sugar. Yeah, so go right ahead and do that. I just stay with this with this list till you feel you've got momentum. Anybody else? All right, y'all. It's been good to connect with you tonight. I'll go post whoever asked previously. I'll go post the combination card, and look forward to staying with you all week in the group and helping those that need help. You're welcome, Jennifer. Good night, everybody. Good night.